Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. I'm already tired of repeating that Jeffrey is the key to defeating the Watchmen of Doom, but every time I said it, people looked at me like I was crazy, and I get why. Because it's obvious that Jeffrey is just a freaked-out TV man who didn't get out of the abyss in time and got stuck there. He's nowhere near strong enough to compete with a Titan, especially one that's been boosted by the Astro toilets. But when I laid out this theory, critics often ignored one little elephant in the room. Even if Jeffrey is weaker in strength, smaller in size, and maybe even dumber than Doom in brains, heck, even if you assume he has no brains at all and just teleported them into a dumpster, leaving an empty box with tentacles inside, despite all his theoretical and actual weaknesses, he still has a certain ability I forgot to remind you about when I said Jeffrey could beat Doom. And honestly, it's my fault for not mentioning it back then. That's why the theory sounded a little insane. And now attention. Before you find out what I mean, I'll warn you, the logic is simple, but it fits perfectly and sounds damn close to the truth. So close to the truth that if I had to keep just one of my theories with the highest chance of being right, I'd pick this one. And it goes like this. In episode 78, we saw that Jeffrey can get right into characters' heads and show them their past. In episode 79, the Watchmen of Doom entered the abyss, trying to catch the remaining agents. Before that, Doom was the TV man Titan, and we already saw at the start of part 1 of episode 79 how he asked forgiveness for causing their deaths. This proves that the remnants of the TV man's personality are still in him, and the core lover basically controls his body, but not his mind. Meanwhile, the Duchess is raising him like a mommy and keeping him under control. In part 2, they tried to remove the parasite, but she interfered and helped him. Now let's put the puzzle together. Right now, the Duchess isn't around. She didn't enter the abyss. And right before this episode, Boom showed us a character who can reveal the past. And what a coincidence. That character lives exactly in the abyss. At this point, it's obvious that Jeffrey will try to break Doom psychologically and reach the TV man Titan inside by showing him his past and reminding him who he really is. Admit it. Now, the thought of Jeffrey being that powerful doesn't sound so crazy anymore. But that's not all, friends. I found even more interesting stuff about this character. I'll also share my thoughts about the new race of PC men and whether they'll even show up at all. But before we start, I'll ask you to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And to boost your motivation, here's a deal. If we get 7,000 likes under this video, the next one will come out immediately as soon as that number is reached. Anyway, here we go. So first, let's figure out what Jeffrey actually is. Let's start with the fact that he used to be human. After all the agents are former humans. From this, we can conclude that he's most likely one of the scientists who conducted experiments with this very dimension. And apparently, one of those experiments led to his complete imprisonment in the abyss. Or maybe, after what he saw and learned there, he didn't even want to come back. That's something we'll have to find out in the future. So with this info, we can say that almost none of the TV men really know what Jeffrey is capable of, because it looks like after what he did, nobody wanted to stay there for long, and they only used that dimension for moving around, not for studying it. At least we never saw otherwise, and even according to the words of the large TV man, nobody's eager to stay there too long. But in the new part, in episode 79, our squad of agents got cornered and captured exactly in this dimension. And physically, they just can't leave until they fight back. Because if they bring the Watchmen of Doom and the Astro toilets to the base, it will mean the death of a huge number of agents. So they'll have to fight right in the abyss. And of course, Jeffrey will clearly not be happy with this turn of events. As for his appearance, judging by episode 78, he's got tentacles. They only showed 2, sure, but I'm certain he can make way more. His body hasn't been revealed to us, and it's quite possible that he fully merged with the abyss and became one with this dimension. That's why he doesn't need a normal body anymore. Even though in the preview the animator showed him as an ordinary TV man, it's obvious he doesn't look like that now. Most likely all that's left of him is a TV screen and tentacles, which he can use to grab and pull in beings, as well as attack. And basically all this is supported by his instability and ability to move around inside the abyss. Because if he's one with it, then he can do anything he wants inside. That makes him a dangerous opponent both for the Alliance and for the Astro toilets. By the way, there's another interesting detail. Even hypnosis glasses don't work inside the abyss. To fall under Jeffrey's influence, it's enough just to be there. And that's what the agents should take advantage of. While Jeffrey is trying to win mentally, they should be escaping. Still, I think Jeffrey has some sense of justice left in him, and he'll understand that the Astros are definitely the most unwelcome guests here, because unlike them, the agents rarely made a mess in this dimension. All right, so we've more or less figured Jeffrey out. Now let's talk about the PC men. Throughout the season, they've been mentioned really often, and this is the race with the most hints. We've been waiting for them for a long time, and now they've finally started to appear in their true form and, for some reason, saving agents from death. Looking at all the battles, fights, and the show in general, the question is, what exactly will the PC men turn out to be? Many think they'll be something like the TV men, just in smaller numbers but with their own army, a Titan, and maybe even a mini-Titan, like the Speaker men. Others think there'll just be a few elite fighters, a main big PC man, his Titan, and 2 or 3 regular soldiers. But I'll tell you this, most likely both of those assumptions are wrong. In episode 79, we very clearly saw green glowing when the PC men appeared. That shows they're directly connected to the secret agent, using the same energy, the same tech, and the same abilities. They act strictly under his orders, and apparently they're helping Boom. So, most likely these fighters obey him completely and do exactly what he needs. To be more precise, they're the secret agent's personal agents, and he created them himself to help him while he's busy with his plan to defeat the Astro Toilets, and most likely there are only 3 of them. They don't have a Titan, or bigger versions, or any leaders within their race, and we've already seen all of them. Remember when Plunger Man's squad entered the Alpha Hills lab? They were twins, and later we found out they worked for Boom. Most likely back then they changed their appearance so they could later help the squad kill the scientist, exactly as the secret agent planned. Plus, it's interesting that Boom's computer was on the opposite side of the table, and that visually emphasizes that the PC men are very different from the other races and have way more knowledge. And right now, I can safely say that the PC men are most likely just 3, the twins and that very PC man from episode 74. The secret agent hasn't shown anyone else with similar abilities, and that says a lot too. But despite everything I just said, one main question remains. How will the whole alliance react to the secret agent and his helpers? I think opinions will differ a lot. Some will be glad, and others the opposite. For example, Detective. And personally, I really hope that after the appearance of the PC men, his arc won't be closed, because he really does play the role of a detective investigating the Alliance's internal affairs. Back when he was a human, he was hunting the secret agent, not literally, of course, but by collecting evidence and trying to expose his lab. And admit it, such a twist fits his character perfectly, because the secret agent is clearly acting for his own goals, which haven't been revealed to us yet. And why would he hide from those who also want to destroy the Astros? Exactly, because their goals are different, and we'll soon see that. Plus, don't forget, earlier he worked with the scientist and then killed him when he started getting in the way. I've already talked about that in detail in another video, so if you're interested, you can check it out, and we'll see each other again.